Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Sunforce.
Dazzling starting pitching has been on display at the Trop the past two nights. Monday, Big Game James dominated the Rangers en route to his Major League leading 11th complete game. Last night, Rangers southpaw C.J. Wilson tossed his first career shutout. And today, more great pitching in the forecast. Lefty David Price faces Rangers southpaw Derek Holland. This afternoon, the Tampa Bay Rays continue their homestand and wrap up this three-game series against the Texas Rangers. We welcome you to the Trop and an afternoon of Rays baseball. With Brian Anderson, I'm Dwayne Statz. Good to have you with us. We'll be hearing from Todd Callis in just a few moments. Well, more great pitching, as we mentioned. You know, the Rangers and the Rays have divided the first two games of this series. And the interesting thing about this Texas club up by 3.5 in the AL West, they have such great movable offensive parts. Nelson Cruz goes to the disabled list. One or two or three other hitters step up, and that includes Josh Hamilton, who again is swinging a very good bat.
I can't believe we've gotten to the third game and haven't talked about Josh Hamilton yet. Big game last night, 2 out of 3, a couple of doubles, drove in a run, and you see what he's done his last 9 games. 13 out of 36, a couple of home runs, 9 RBIs in those 9 games. Continues to be productive. You know, this is a guy MVP last year. Those guys need to step up when another prime offensive guy goes down. And in those 9 games, Josh Hamilton's reached safely. He's been very consistent. A few multi-hit games. Got to be careful. We've made this point. Got to be careful with the fastball over the plate to him. Show him the fastball. Try to get him out with the off speed.
And the pitching matchup about as good as you're going to get with David Price on the hill for the Rays, Derek Holland for the Texas Ball Club. And David Price, 3-2 in his last 5 games, easily could have won all 5 of those starts.
Yeah, when you look at his ERA over the last 5 games, you say, yeah, 1.42. Look at that opponent's average, 171. He has been absolutely dominant. Not in the win-loss column, but in his stuff. He's starting to pitch. He started to mix in that changeup a little bit. He's moving the ball around, has shown good command with the fastball to both sides of the plate, and that is the pitch that sets everything else up. You add that changeup in, and you look at the numbers. He's more strikeouts than innings pitched. He's been very, very good. And Derek Holland, now going into the start on July the 7th, he was 6-4 with a 5.10 ERA. In the last 2 months, boy, talk about turning it around. Record 7-1, 2.76 earned run average, 3 complete games. Those just happen to be 3 shutouts that he has thrown in the last couple of months. So he has the ability to go out and dominate a game too.
And the Coventry Healthcare pitching matchup, we zero in on Derek Holland, who is now 13-5 with that .413 earned run average, making his 29th start. And on the hill for the 30th time in a starting role, David Price, looking for victory number 13. Price in with a mark of 12 wins and 12 losses. He's also 5th in the league in total strikeouts. Wrap-up game of this series. Boston in over the weekend, but first the Texas Rangers. Todd will have more in just a moment.
Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Fans rolling in on a little day baseball here, then a day off tomorrow for the Rays. Now, after Texas comes in, or after Texas leaves town, it's all American League East teams the rest of the way, including 7 against the Red Sox and 7 against the New York Yankees. While the lead looks a little bit daunting right now as we look at our standings, brought to you by the New Degree Men's Everest, you'll see that the Yankees lead the way and are 2.5 ahead of the Red Sox and 10.5 ahead of the Rays. So that means Tampa Bay 8 back of Boston in the wild card picture. Again, that can be daunting until you consider all the head-to-head games the Rays have with the Yankees and the Red Sox 7 apiece. We caught up with Joe Madden before the game and asked him about the Rays' shot going into the Red Sox series.
Here comes Boston, and then we're going to see Boston again 4 times up there. We're going to see the Yankees. We're going to see all these different teams. I love the fact that, when you're behind like we are, it's a little bit more pleasurable to play these games. When you're ahead and having to play those guys coming from behind is not as pleasurable. So hopefully we're going to create a little bit of havoc in the next couple of weeks.
That's what we like to do, create a little havoc, especially on a website Wednesday, because you can log on to foxsportsflorida.com, click on Game Connect, and those guys will answer your questions. Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson. Nice shorts look, BA. I like it. Log on to foxsportsflorida.com, click on Game Connect, and they will answer anything about guitars. What does BA have? What's he reading? What's he got there? What do you got? Oh, New York Post. Whatever you want to know about baseball, guitars, or the New York Post, or any other subject, just ask the broadcast booth, and those two will have the answer for you. Guess what? 2 minutes and 18 seconds until the first pitch on a Wednesday afternoon. Rays and the Rangers for the final time in 2011. Wayne and Brian will be right alongside with all the action. Enjoy, everybody.
Toyota, moving forward by AT&T, by Autoway. Autoway is part of AutoNation, the largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. And by Coventry Healthcare of Florida, lighting the way to better health. Rays and the Rangers meet for the final time this year. The Rays have won 3. Texas with 5 wins in the season series, and they're even in the current 3-game series. Rays trying to take the final game. Texas will have Ian Kinsler leading off, followed by Elvis Andrus and then Josh Hamilton. Michael Young is at first with Adrian Beltre at third and Mike Napoli behind the plate. David Murphy is in right field. The DH is Orbit Torrealba. Greg Gentry is in center field. He will bat ninth.
And taking the mound this afternoon for the Tampa Bay Rays, left-hander David Price will be his 30th start of the season. Coming off a tough start his last outing, dominant through 6. Things started to come apart on him a little bit in the 7th. Ended up taking the loss against the Baltimore Orioles, so he will be looking to come out today and finish the job.
Well, Ian Kinsler about to step in. He opened last night's game with a home run. His 26th home run of the season. And the first pitch is in there. That's a strike call, so we're underway. Rays start the day 77 and 64 on the year. Pitch is down and in. A breaking ball. It's 1-1. Despite dropping that game last night, the Rays have won 18 of their last 28. Fly ball right field. Ruggiano, that ball still fair, and he stops to make the catch.
Well, let's take a look at the Tampa Bay defense this afternoon. Left to right in the outfield, Desmond Jennings, B.J. Upton, and Justin Ruggiano across the infield. Third to first, Evan Longoria, Sean Rodriguez, Ben Zobrist, and Casey Kotchman. Kelly Shopping will get the call behind the plate.
Elvis Andrus, the shortstop. Texas starting the day up by 3.5 in the West, and 81 and 62 leading the Los Angeles Angels. There's a strike. Andrus at 276. Got a hit and a run scored last night. And now it's 1-1. To look at the AL West with Texas sitting atop. Going into the final 3 weeks of the season. Ground ball right side, grabbed by Kotchman. Throw to first. Price got there but could not find the bag. Boy, a great stop by Kotchman. Price had to bust it to try to get over there, and Andrus is safely aboard.
Oh, Kotchman pulled off the bag there a little bit, goes in the hole. Once that ball kind of jars loose here, look where Casey's playing. Knocks that ball down, then it has to hit the running David Price.
Well, that's a great attempt.
I'll tell you what, and David Price, if the heel is on the bag, he's out. His foot clearly there, and that's saying that not on the bag.
So here's Josh Hamilton. Goes after the first one and sends a fly ball to left. Jennings is there to make the catch. Andrus back to tag, but he'll hang on at first. So Texas gets a break.
They did get a break. You know, the foot was it may be hovering over the bag. Clearly beat Andrus. Chad Fairchild says, you know, I don't know. He had a better look at it than we did, but he said David's foot off the bag. Here's where you see. Watch the heel, the right heel. Is it on the bag?
Well, Fairchild's staring right at it.
He is right on it.
So he's got the best view of anybody. Michael Young. The pitch is down. And the other thing about that play is that Price made another stab at the bag with his foot after the initial play.
Anytime you go back, whether you're a runner sliding into home plate, a pitcher covering first base, if there's any hesitation or jerk back towards the bag, umpire just assumes, yeah, he obviously didn't touch her. He wouldn't be going back and find yourself into some trouble.
So Andrus has a base hit. He's aboard with Young at the plate at 2 outs.
I'll tell you something else that we can look for. If I recall from David Price's first start against the Rangers earlier this year, Josh Hamilton swung at the first pitch, flew out to left field. He didn't waste any time going after David Price, not wanting to get deep in the count against his plus stuff. David will have to be very good with him early on because he's going to swing the bat.
Well, the one thing he wants, as we've discussed really all year, but back in the series in Arlington. He does hunt the fastball. He wants that, and if that's what he's going to get first pitch, that's what he's going to go for.
And that's where, as a pitcher, David Price against left-handers with the fastball, he's very good with his fastball against anybody, especially against lefties.
Pitch to Young, just missed.
So the rule of thumb is this: strength on strength, you go with your strength. And for David Price, that is the fastball. You just got to make sure that you're thinking location, not just throwing it, location.
Now the move to first and back in is Andrus again. Foul back. Young, second in the league in hitting, second in the league in total hits, trailing Adrian Gonzalez. Young's also in the top 10 in runs batted in. There's the batting race. Gonzalez at 342 and Young at 333. Runners on the move, pitches high, quick release, and the one-hop throw pops loose. Well, Shopik got it out of there in a hurry. That's going to be a stolen base for Andrus.
Now, Kelly Shopik's been good all year long at this, leading the league over 44% thrown out. Even the skip there in plenty of time, and the ball not secured. Squirts out between the legs of Sean Rodriguez. Let's see if that ball even goes into the glove and it gets kicked out. Boy, that's perfect. It's in there loose. That ball never made it into the pocket. It went into the glove, but
3-1, and that's fouled away. So an infield hit and now a steal, and the Rangers have a man in scoring position. 2 outs and a full count on Young. Another foul ball. So we'll do that again. The pitch is down, so Young draws the walk. It'll get Beltre to the plate. Adrian Beltre. Now with a 12-game hitting streak, all 6 since he's come back from the disabled list. The pitch missed a little bit with a curveball to start Beltre. 1-0 the count. Beltre lifetime 3 out of 14 with 5 strikeouts against Price. And now it's a 2-0 count. There's a strike.
Oh, nice weapon there. David Price. I mean, a 2-0 count against anybody really in this lineup. They're going to be aggressive, especially Adrian Beltre. When you have the ability to start to climb back into a count by throwing a 2-0 changeup, bonus.
2-1. Upstairs with a fastball. 3 balls and a strike. Andrews second, Young at first. And there's a strike. Off speed again.
3-1. 3-1 changeup here.
You can see all of these pitches here, according to FoxTrack. All of those pitches could be called strikes, according to FoxTrack.
Yeah,
They all had a little part of the zone. That's all you need.
that's it.
There's strike 3 call. Got him looking. That retires the side. Texas leaves 2. Bottom of the first coming. No score. Brought to you by H.H. Gregg. Headed into the bottom half of the first. No score. The Rays facing Derek Holland. They'll add Desmond Jennings to lead it off, followed by B.J. Upton and Evan Longoria. Ben Zober, Sean Rodriguez, and Brandon Guyer hit 6. He'll be the DH. Casey Kochman, Kelly Shoffick, and Justin Ruggiano rounding out the lineup.
Now, taking the mound this afternoon for the Rangers, left-hander Derek Holland on a nice little run. His last 2 starts, he's given up just 1 earned run in 13 2/3 innings, both victories. Coming off a very strong outing against the Boston Red Sox at Fenway. Went 7 innings, just gave up 2 hits, no runs.
And here is Desmond Jennings to lead it off here against the left-hander. And the first pitch misses. 1 ball and no strikes. It will be interesting here. We saw a little bit of it in the top of the first with these 2 left-handers on the mound. That's going to be a strike. With the Angel Campos working the plate, he will give you the pitch away at times. He's a little reluctant to call the high strike, and we saw that in the sequence of pitches to Adrian Beltre with Price. It's going to be interesting for Holland because he does pitch up quite a bit.
He pitches way up in the zone. If you chart out his fastballs against right-handed hitters, 1,332 fastballs, over 1,000 are thigh and up. He pitches up in the zone quite a bit. He's got that little jump on his fastball, which allows him to do that.
He missed right there, and the count is 2-2. And that pitch didn't miss by much.
It didn't, but you know what? You watch how that first inning went, and message to the 2 pitchers, don't assume anything. Derek Collins started the walk-off. You're like, yep, I got him.
See, that's a pretty good pitch right there. And this one is fouled away. Jennings reaching out to foul that pitch off. He got a break on the pitch in and was not going to take a chance on a pitch away. And down and in, ball 4. So Jennings draws the walk. So we'll see how this game progresses given how that strike zone sets up today.
Let's take a look at the Ranger defense this afternoon as it lines up behind Derek Holland. In the outfield, left to right, Josh Hamilton, Craig Gentry, and David Murphy. Across the infield, third to first, Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrus, Ian Kinsler, and Michael Young. Mike Napoli once again behind the plate.
And B.J. Upton at the plate. And the pitch is called a strike away from him. So if history holds true, that should be a pitch that these two will get a strike on most of the day. One ball, one strike.
Well, the thing with Derek Holland is this is a guy who truly feast or famine as a starting pitcher. He can go. He's got 4 shutouts. He's tied with James Shields for the American League lead in shutouts.
Over to first, and Jennings is back in, and he's not an easy guy to run on.
No, not at all. I mean, you look 7 out of 16. That's a pretty pedestrian.
5 pickoffs.
Yeah, 5 pick. Well, you control the running game with those pickoffs, and Rangers catchers throwing out some runners.
1 ball and 2 strikes. We take a look at the Southern Ford Dealers leaderboard with Derek Holland and James Shields each with 4 shutouts, and Jason Vargas with 3.
Shields had a chance for a couple more late in the game. 8 shutout innings coming out.
And Upton swings and misses. Missed the fastball. He's out of there.
And going back too with Holland and how he can be up and down. He's had 12 starts this year. Here's the fastball to Upton. See how he rides that up? He likes to throw that fastball up in the zone. When he's able to do that because he wants to, a lot of success. When he does it because he's unable to get the ball down, he can have some rough outings. He's had 8 starts this year where he's given up 5 earned runs or more, as opposed to he's had 12 where he's given up 2 earned runs or less.
Well, he gave up 5 runs to the Rays earlier this year in 5 2/3 innings. Over to first, Jennings is back in there. You can see how he could be a little deceptive.
Late going over to first base.
He walked 5 in that game against the Rays.
And picked up the win.
Yes, he did. 11-5. Well, that's life with the Texas Rangers.
Well, and Derek Holland in particular. This guy, run support average, best in Major League Baseball. Over 7.5 runs a game the Rangers give him when he takes them out.
Longoria takes a strike. That pitch away from him, and again, pitch away, and that's going to be a strike. Evan with 25 home runs and 80 runs batted in. Down the left field line. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. It one-hops over that low wall. That's a 2-base hit, and Jennings stops at third on the double by Longoria.
Here's your checkers double of the game. Wants this ball middle away. Look where it ends up. Ends up curling right back into the swing of Evan. He does a nice job of waiting back on it. Just able to keep that ball fair. 6 inches.
So a double for Longoria. Now he's in scoring position along with Jennings. Here's Ben Zobrist. Zobrist taking a pitch down and away. Want to know the count here to Zobrist. Ben shoots it toward right center field. That ball's well hit out of the reach of Gentry. Jennings scores. Longoria's going to score. It's a double for Zobrist. And the Rays take a 2-0 lead. Ben Zobrist with his 44th double of the year. Drives in 2.
Now, just where Derek Holland has a tendency to get hurt, Look at this pitch is. Middle. Right at the thighs. A lot of fastballs there. You're going to see him. He leaves them out over the plate. Rays will be able to do that all afternoon.
A back-to-back doubles for the Rays. Longoria set it up. And Zobrist drove in both Jennings and Longoria. Now Sean Rodriguez. The pitch is a strike. Fastball in the mid-90s. Fly ball down the left side. Hamilton to his right toward the line. Makes the catch. 2 gone. Zobrist with a 2-base hit. 44. See on the Rays all-time doubles list, Aubrey Huff leads the franchise in doubles, then Longoria. Zobrist with 44. Brandon Guyer. A strike. Guyer chases this one. He's got some action out there.
Yeah, that ball started away, really took off. That almost looked like a predetermined swing by Brandon Guyer. If I see fastball, I'm hacking.
2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes. I think Holland thought he might have had one there.
Yeah, I think he did. Looked like a pretty good pitch.
Bounces back, battling that 95-mile-per-hour fastball, and got a piece of it to keep the at-bat going. Rays won the first game 5-1, lost last night 8-0. You see Holland has been all around and actually in the strike zone here and pitching to Guyer. A swing and a miss. He blows that one by him, strikes him out. Rays, however, put up 2. The double by Ben Zobrist, chasing home Jennings and Longoria, and the Rays lead 2-0.
with an early lead over the Rangers. We'll start your weekend off right with Friday Fest, presented by Captain Morgan. Just in a couple of days, this Friday, when the Rays host the Boston Red Sox. The first 10,000 fans get this Casey Kochman t-shirt presented by the St. Petersburg Times. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets right now.
Mike Napoli leads off, and the pitch away is a strike call, the fastball to begin this at bat. Murphy next, and then Torrey Alba. Pitch inside, and it's 1-1. One ball, 2 strikes. Two and two. It's David Price and Derek Holland. The Rays have 2 runs in the first. 2-2 to Napoli opening the second. Pitch is wide. Tried to cut that pitch a bit. Stayed wide. Line drive, that's going to be foul back at third. Another 3-2 pitch about to be made. Napoli protecting that outside part of the plate there, reaching and keeps the at bat alive.
Yes, it does David Price a favor, because that was a changeup that was going to end up and away. I think that would have even been too far for Angel Campos.
At least the up part.
Right.
3-2. There's another one up the right side, foul out of play. Back-to-back changeups. It presents an interesting challenge, and you know better than anybody, Brian, if they're going to give you that corner plus away but not give you the pitch inside, there's some adjustments that have to be made.
It almost defeats the purpose.
And now he reaches out and singles the other way. Napoli has a leadoff single.
Well, here it is in Foxmo, and see David Price is trying to throw this ball away. What I do not like about that pitch right there is you've already thrown 2 changeups, and he's already gone off the plate away, leaning out there to foul those off. If you want to go with the fastball, bring that pitch in. Close him out in. Maybe you get a swing in there. Maybe you don't, but you go out away. He's already leaning that way. He's got a chance now.
David Murphy, and the pitch to him is down. 1 ball, no strikes.
The problem with that is you may not get that call in.
Yeah, that's
that's the thing.
Campos is not giving that inside strike. He is giving the strike away.
And that's where you run into the problem, because
there's a strike.
As a pitcher, if I can throw the ball in on a right-handed hitter, and I know that you're not going to call it a strike, well, after a while, maybe the first couple innings, that hitter knows it too. Mm-hmm. So now, you may give me a couple inches off the plate away, but that doesn't do me any good anymore, because the hitter knows anything in, take it, it's a ball, and now they can reach that pitch off the plate.
And if a pitcher does come in and misses out over the plate,
yeah, right.
See ya.
Yeah.
That ball's gone.
That's it. That's it. And if you make the perfect pitch, it's going to be a ball. If you make a good pitch down and away, I'll just lean out there and flip you into right field, just like Napoli did.
Yeah, and I think that was the mode Napoli was in, obviously. And there was a reluctance to come in.
And guess what? Position is Napoli.
Yeah, he knows.
He sees the strike zone already.
Yeah.
So he knows what's being called, what's not. Absolutely. In fact, Holland got squeezed on a couple of pitches in there that looked pretty good.
And that pitch looked pretty good right there. It's ball 3. So a full count to Murphy.
Boy, this was tight.
Just a little off the plate. And a cut and a miss. Some action on that pitch from Price to strike out David Murphy. One away, strikeout number 2 for Price.
It was almost as David Murphy couldn't make his mind up as you see him with the late swing here. Kind of awkward reach.
And a nice job of receiving that pitch down from Shopping.
I'll tell you what, Kelly Shopping has been tremendous behind the plate. Blocking, how active he is back there, his throwing.
Torrealba pops it up on the first pitch, a foul ball, and Kochman is there to catch it. Got him out in front and pops him up foul. 2 gone. Now Craig Gentry, who's in center field today, steps in. Gentry batting .240. Takes a strike. Gentry dividing time between Texas and Round Rock, their AAA club. Tap left side. Longoria unloads in a hurry and gets it there in time. Gentry out third to first. We go to the Rays half of the second. 2-0 Tampa Bay.
Subject of one of our questions from the viewers today is a Website Wednesday. You can ask the announcers a question by logging on to foxsportsflorida.com and clicking on Game Connect as Kochman lines out to the shortstop for the first out of the inning. And guys, basically a lot of fans want to know about Kochman, Johnny Damon, Kyle Farnsworth. Fans looking ahead to 2012. What are the chances that one or two or all three of them could be back next year? Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you. Well, I'd have to think, BA, that the chances that of those three, that pretty good chance that at least one will be back and a couple perhaps. I mean, you could argue all three, But I'll tell you, they've gotten a great year out of Kochman, and Farnsworth has been very good. And Johnny Damon has every intention of playing as long as somebody has a uniform for him.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I think Johnny Damon, he likes it here. He wants to be here, likes the organization, likes that it's close to home. Casey Kochman, he's playing at home, so you know that he wants to stay. And after the year that he's put up, I would assume that the Rays would feel the same way. And Kyle Farnsworth has had a tremendous year. He's been very dominant, a strike thrower, not a lot of walks. I mean, he's done everything you could possibly want, out of the closer's role, even though he's never gotten that title. And he has an option for next year, so it's a matter of the team picking it up. And, if they feel like they can be competitive, I don't see how you don't pick that option up, especially when you have a completely rebuilt bullpen, and there'll probably be some tweaking that goes on in the offseason to get it where they want it for next year. I mean, they started over with 6 or 7 new guys this year. You're going to have 3 or 4 of the pieces that you want to keep there, maybe go out and add a couple. And certainly with the year Farnsworth had, I would assume that he would be back.
Yeah, I would think so. There's a strike to Shopping. It's 2-2. We're not privy to the exact figures, but he signed a deal this year for 2.5 to 3, somewhere in there. And there's a buyout there. I hear if they didn't bring him back, it's going to cost him about, I think, $300, $350, something like that. And to pick it up, it's not going to be much more than what they're paying him this year, relatively speaking. I mean, these are significant numbers, but so I would think that all things being equal, I mean, that's a pretty good deal right there.
Well, yeah, and you were bringing him in at roughly a figure similar to what he would make next year as an unknown.
Yeah.
Like, we hoped you could do it. Well, he did it. And he's done it all year. So for a little bit more, relative to the number that you paid him this year, you have to bring him back if you want. If you feel like you are going to be able to compete and win, which I certainly do. I mean, I think with the rotation coming back, a lot of these young players get some experience, another year under their belt, continuity in the coaching staff, the bullpen. That, like I said, that'll probably be tweaked again, and maybe add a piece here or there. They're going to fully expect to come back and win. So we say he comes back.
Yeah, that's our vote. And it really counts, too.
From now until the end of the half inning.
That's it. 3-2 the count, and Shopping draws a walk. Well, here's the deal. This club's going to continue to be built on pitching and defense. And that's really what's made this club competitive this year. They knew that their options might be limited when Ramirez didn't work out. And there was concern that they were going to miss a right-handed bat, and they were hoping that could be the right-handed bat. Well, it didn't turn out that way. Fine. But this club, you add a right-handed bat in the middle of this lineup to this club, hey, it's a pretty good team.
And I think that's the deal. You are going to build on pitching and defense, but what held you back this year?
Yeah, so add that. Keep some very important pieces to this club right now. Tweak it, as you point out. There may be some of that in the bullpen. There's a liner off the bat of Ruggiano, and Justin has a base hit with Shopping stopping at second base. 2 on with 1 out. But if they can add a bat, I like the defense that Kochman gives you over there. He makes the infield defense so much better than it is to begin with. That's what the Rays have done against lefties. Their record in games started by left-handers, I think, it's 25-18. And they're hitting .248 as a team against left-handers, better than the club has hit against right-handed pitching. Now Jennings is up here with Shopping and Ruggiano aboard. 1 out. Jennings goes for the first one and lifts it into left center field. And Gentry, cutting in front of Hamilton, makes the catch. 2 gone.
Derek Holland making a game attempt there at a mustache. That's no stats, bro.
Well, he's only 24.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what mine looks like, though.
Yeah.
That's why don't think that when I'm away from the club for a few days, if I couldn't grow a mustache, that I wouldn't come back and tell everybody how much I missed you. But see, they would look at something like that. And I'm a lot older.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. My dad could grow a great mustache. I cannot.
BJ nubs this one right side. Got a chance to beat it out. Throw to first. Slips away from Kinsler. Shopik's going to score. Over to third goes Ruggiano. And that's going to be a base hit. Boy, you talk about a little cue ball with some backspin on it. And then when Kinsler tried to make that quick throw to first, that ball must have still been spinning in his hand.
Yeah, that's what happens when you add that pressure of a guy getting up the line. This ball's right off the end, so it's going to have weird spin. Kinsler knows he's got to hurry. Just never had a hold of it.
Well, the throw had the same kind of spin that the batted ball had.
He threw a knuckleball.
Yeah.
His fingers were like this. You can't see him, but it looked like a knuckleball.
So the Rays pick up their third run. And now here's Longoria sending a fly ball into right. Murphy's there to make the catch. So the Rays are finished. They pick up a run at the end of 3-0 Tampa Bay.
Talking about that play, you look at the sideways spin, and we're talking about throwing a knuckleball. This is a knuckleball. Look at this, the ball comes out of the hand, gripped like a knuckleball, tumbles like a knuckleball. Never had a hold of that, never made it into the palm of his hand.
Yeah, they try to take the spin off the knuckleball. Well, a pitcher tries to do that, and the ball starts in his hand. That ball had great reverse spin when Kinsler picked it up.
Oh, yeah.
He really took the spin off of it. Then knuckled it to first for a throwing error, allowing the run to score. Upton got credit for a base hit, and the run scored on the error. And here's a strike to start the third inning. 0-1 to count on Ian Kinsler. 1-1, David Price against Eric Holland. Kinsler came into this game 7 out of 18 against Price, and a liner caught by Jennings in left. Desmond Jennings aggressively attacking that sinking line drive and making the catch.
Yeah, that's a do or die play, and Desmond Jennings, he goes for it. Change up line drive. Scoops that right off the turf. Nice play by Desmond.
The Rays continue and throws some outstanding defense on the field. Elvis Andrews run up on that pitch, shorten on the bat, and the pitch is a strike. Three, 4-0 for the Rays, 0-2-1 for Texas. Have a strike. 0-2. How about Baltimore and New York being right back at it? That game's in the top of the third. A 2-2 tie. We sat around in the rain a long time last night. Fly ball, center field. Upton on the go, still moving, and he runs it down on the warning track. Some good defensive work in center field by Upton on the heels of Jennings making that fine play in left.
Well, so what falls in? The line drive Jennings charges. The hard hit deep fly ball BJ goes back on. Talk about covering some turf.
Well, left field and center field pretty well covered. Demonstrated by those catches by Jennings and Upton. Josh Hamilton is going to go for that first pitch, trying to check, and that's in there for a strike.
Yeah, he does not waste any time off David Price. He wants to get up there, hopefully he makes a mistake, and I can take a swing at it, he says, and get out of it.
Takes a fastball down.
I've actually heard him say that.
It's 1-1. And a strike at the knees has him backing out of there. The count is 1-2. Well, now Price, especially with that great fastball, but with a changeup and a cutter, you really don't want to be behind in the count with Price on the mound.
No. Too many weapons.
And he just missed. Price had taken a step toward the dugout there, thinking he might have the zone.
But you just know as a pitcher, you've thrown the pitch too many times. You just know it. That's why you start to take that walk. You're like, I've seen this called a strike too many times. That's there. And then you don't get the call.
There's a strike. 96 on the fastball, and Hamilton takes it. 1, 2, 3 go the Rangers. We go into the bottom half of inning 3. Two great defensive plays by the Rays. 3-0 Tampa Bay.
leads off the bottom half of the third inning and sends one deep to right center field, and tracking the ball right in front of the warning track for the out is Gentry, and there's one away. Please join Sun Sports this Sunday at 12:57, a few minutes before the Red Sox and Rays pregame show, for a special September 11th tribute. This honoring of our nation will feature a short video as well as a moment of silence and national anthem from the Chicago versus Falcons NFL game. Tune in for this very special September 11th tribute Sunday at 12:57 right here on Sun Sports. And we are pleased to be joined by Mark Bogusch, captain of Tampa Fire, and you were one of the first people and one of the few people from the Tampa area that went immediately up there right after 9/11 10 years ago.
Yeah, Roger Picard and myself were part of a FEMA task force out of the city of Miami, and shortly after the first tower fell, the pagers went off and we started packing bags.
Yeah, and amazing, and here we are 10 years later. I don't know if it seems like a short time or a long time ago, but what are some of the reflections you have when you think back on your efforts during that whole stretch?
Well, I guess you think back at how well protected we always thought we were. You're in America, you're safe from everything, and that was a reminder that even today, we have to keep an ever vigilant eye on things. We have our military out there, doing the best they can to keep terrorism out of this country. And as far as thinking back to that particular day, I guess it's the faces. It's the faces of the people with the lost loved ones. The faces of those New York firefighters that were already there on scene, looking for their comrades in arms, and the faces of my fellow rescuers that day that we first put foot on that site and just could not believe what we were seeing.
You were up there with canine units too, right?
That's correct. Roger and myself, we had two canines, Marley, which was a black Labrador retriever, and then Jesse was a yellow lab that Roger used to work with.
So you will be here September 11th. You'll be throwing out the first pitch. When you got up there, how long were you actually up there in the New York City area?
We were actually on site for 7 days. That was our assignment. Roger worked the AM shift, I worked the PM shift, and every day for 7 days we were on site.
Yeah, Mark, I remember reading about your efforts, and we truly appreciate you joining us here. We look forward to you throwing out the first pitch, and thank you so much for what you've done for us and for others over the course of all these past years, and especially on 9/11. Thank you.
Well, Sunday is going to be a very special day, and I thank the Tampa Bay Rays for doing what they're doing in recognition of that day.
Mark Bogusch, gentleman, Tampa captain of Tampa Fire, and he'll be out here throwing the first pitch and one of the first responders on 9/11 10 years ago. Back to you guys.
Yeah, a special place in our hearts for Mark and all of the men and women who comprise the first responders and all of the people who contributed and continue to contribute in the attempt to keep our country safe, and we're looking forward to that. It will be a solemn occasion, but one that can help to build strength in numbers as well. And they have done such wonderful work. 2 strikes the count to Geyer. And he shoots one into right field, but it's going to hang up for Murphy, who makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 third. We go to the fourth. The Rays lead 3-0. A question this afternoon as pitchers go in the last 20 years. How many sets of American League teammates have each posted 200 plus strikeouts in a season? David Price goes to work here against Michael Young in the fourth. First pitch is a strike. It's 1-1 now. Two and one. Young walked in the first inning. Beltre struck out to end the first. Who went second in the inning, followed by Napoli. 3-1. Baltimore has taken a 4-2 lead in New York. Game's in the bottom of the third now. Swing and a miss. It's 3-2. They did get that game started and completed last night. The Yankees beat the Orioles 5-3. Started somewhere around quarter past 11. And ended somewhere after 2 o'clock. And they're back at it today. Quick turnaround. We thought we had a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Full count now to Michael Young. So far as we know, they have still not determined the details of the Rays-Yankees makeup doubleheader.
Yeah, I think they're still mad. They're still smarting from the cancellation.
3-2 and another foul out of play. Well, they better do it soon.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, whatever. Let us know. You know, the best thing about those kind of situations is that, you know, there's the game that's going on, and then they tell you and you just go up and sweep. Okay, we'll just wait till whatever. Oh, we're going to win 2 tomorrow? Okay. Sounds good.
3-2 again. And Young out on strikes this time. Well, that's 199 strikeouts on the year for David Price.
The climbing backdoor cutter. You see he's worked them all over the zone. Comes with that backdoor cutter up. Little side spin.
A 9-pitch at bat. Now Adrian Beltre. It's inside. A ball, no strikes. This is the 6th career start for Price against Texas. He's never beaten this team. This is the only American League team Price has not won against. Came in 0-3 against Texas. Liner into right. Luciano is going to find this ball just inside the line. So Beltre just comes up with a base hit. A nice job by Ruggiano to get over there to hold Beltre to a single.
And Beltre going out, getting his pitch, just flips it off the end of the bat. Keeps it just fair. Yeah, and Beltre was. He took that turn like he was looking for an opportunity to head to second base. Ruggiano cuts it off and gets it back in quickly.
Here's Mike Napoli now with Beltre at first. The pitch is fouled back. Put the pressure on him, BA. You know, here we are. We just mentioned it.
Yeah.
They get it done.
It happens?
Yeah, it happened. I mean, that was talk about applying the pressure.
Well. 1
strike to count. So Tuesday, the Rays are up there. That'll be a night game. And then the doubleheader Wednesday, 1 and 7, day night. Thursday, 7 o'clock.
There you go.
So the 4-game series. It was originally a 2-game series, a couple of makeups in there. So the Rays and the Yankees play Tuesday at 7, Wednesday at 1 and 7, and Thursday at 7. Pitch just missed down. It's 1 and 2 to Mike Napoli. Did it miss in? I think it missed in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a line drive back into left, and it's going to be over Jennings' head. Beltre's going to go to third. The turn at first. Napoli's going to hold with a base hit. That ball hit very sharply, and Napoli got it over the head of Jennings. Desmond thought he had a shot at catching that ball.
Yeah, that's just a misplay. You can see the look. This ball hit hard. Jennings has it, and it just sails on him. You know, they talk about those outfielders. They talk about the line drive hit right at you. Hard to judge. And that one was misjudged and misplayed, but Napoli only able to get a single out of that.
So it's first and third with 1 out. And now David Murphy. Pitch is a strike. Murphy shoots it the other way down toward the bullpen, reaching out. So it's an 0-2 count. Young struck out, base hit by Beltre. Napoli got credit for a base hit on the line drive over Jennings' head. The ground ball shortstop. Rodriguez cannot come up with it. His haste to try to start a double play. Beltre scores and everybody's safe. That'll be an error charged to Rodriguez. Texas is on the board. It's now 3-1.
Boy, this was it. This was get out of the inning double play. David Price going away here, getting the ground ball right where he wants it. Middle infielders. And Sean Rodriguez, that ball not able to come out of the glove cleanly, and then not even able to make the throw.
So the 10th error of the year charged to Sean. Murphy's at first, Napoli's at second, and here's Torey Alba. Ground ball short. Rodriguez going to have to take it to first. The throw's a little wide, but toward the runner, and Kochman gets the tag. Torey Alba's out of there. Second and third with 2 outs. Gentry will be the hitter. So 2 men in scoring position. Murphy gets a run batted in, even though there was an error on the play. 1 ball and no strikes. Line drive into center, and right there to catch it, Upton retires the side. Texas in with a run. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 3-1 Rays. Answer to our AT&T trivia question in regard to pitchers last 20 years. How many sets of teammates in the American League have posted 200-plus strikeout seasons? That's a piece. And the answer would be 3. Starting at 01, you've seen in Clemens, 04, Pedro and Schilling, and then in 08, A.J. Burnett and Roy Halladay with the Blue Jays. Here's Casey Kochman taking a pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. And the Rays have Shields and Price looking to join that trio of duos. 1-1 the count. And Price right now 1 strikeout away from 200. 2-1 to count.
Do you know how many brains you locked up right there? There's some people catatonic right now trying to figure out the trio of duos.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fastball, 95, inside corner on the black.
It's just what it is.
Well, and it's strike 3 for a lot of people.
2-1. The pitch is fouled back. 2-2. Hey, we've got the sabermetrics coming up on a show later on.
You know what? See, that's where I'll start drooling. I have no chance we start talking sabermetrics. None.
Yeah, that's in the works, so let's go. Swing and a miss right there. That pitch coming in on Kochman. He's the first out in the 4th inning.
Well, you got to gear up for that fastball. We talked about the arm side run that Holland gets. This ball just takes off in there.
I mean, that's nasty.
Yeah, it is.
That's not nice at all.
Nope. And you take
pitch like that.
Yeah, swing and miss like that. You see that grimace.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Right back to the bench.
You make all kinds of faces trying to hit that pitch. Kelly Shopping takes the slow breaking ball, and that's a strike. Shopping walked and scored in the 2nd inning. Rays with 2 runs in the 1st, another run in the 2nd. 1-1 to count. Texas with a run in the 4th. Cutting a miss on the fastball up. 1-2. The 1-2 and strike 3 called. More heat. That one in at 96. Two up, 2 down. Take a look at this one.
Yeah, this is just perfectly placed. Maybe a little up as far as the strike zone has gone today. And I think that's why Kelly was not real happy. Like, listen, I've been catching that pitch all day long, and I'm not getting it.
Yep. That's a real puzzle trying to figure that one out. Ruggiano. Really, if you're catching back there and you've seen what the strike zone is,
yeah,
and you get one of those, you
yeah.
Go, really?
Right. I kneel in front of you all day long, guy. Cut me a break.
Swing and a miss. Ruggiano chased the pitch up that time. He was on deck. He saw Shopping get called out on that pitch because I better swing at that one. Well, that's not been a strike until just now.
Self-induced.
Up again, and this pitch too high.
Quick learner.
Yeah.
Quick learner.
There's a strike. 2-2. And strike 3 call. That will retire the side. Holland strikes out Kopchman, Shopik, and Ruggiano. 3-1 Rays. Time for the Keep Your Edge Spotlight, brought to you by Just for Men Mustache and Beard. You can see the variation of pitch breakdown and the percentages here for David Price, the first 24 starts and the last 5 starts, and how dominant he's been in the last 5 starts with that variation, which gives David Price the edge and helps the Rays keep the edge. You too can keep your edge with Just for Men Mustache and Beard.
Well done, D-Wayne. That's not easy.
That's easier than what Price is doing.
Well,
I'll tell you, that's progress here by a talented young pitcher. 1 strike to count now to Kinsler.
Well, you're watching David Price become a pitcher. He's no longer a thrower. And he'll use that. We saw the uptick in the percentage of the cutter.
Yep.
He'll use it 2 different ways. He'll use it as a true cutter. And then when he throws that pitch down in the zone, whether it's by design or not, it acts more like a very hard slider.
There's a long shot deep to left, and that ball's going to get out of here. A home run by Kinsler. He turns the fastball around.
And that pitch acted like a flyer. I mean, that ball was a missile. But we've seen that. Ian Kinsler, he is looking for the fastball. He will jump you, and he's got a big swing, a little uppercut action in it, looking to hit home runs.
So he has 27 home runs.
See, that ball didn't quite get to where the first 2 did. And that's the risk that you run. If you're going to establish inside, that's good. But the one time that you don't get it there is the time you can be hurt by it, especially from a guy who's at 26, 27 home runs now.
Pitch inside to Andrus. 1 ball and no strikes. So that's his first home run off Price, but he came into the game hitting .389 lifetime off David Price. And he's 1 home run away from matching Nelson Cruz for their team lead. Now this is a home run hitting team, and their leadoff man is vying to take over the team lead in home runs.
And you start to mention some of the other names: Beltre, Hamilton, Cruz.
Sure.
I mean, Ian Kinsler calling up.
Ball 3-0, and if you look down this list of hitters, I mean Price, and if you factor in some postseason play as well as regular season play, Michael Young came into the game 2 for 20 against Price. There's a strike. Napoli 0 for 8. Hamilton came in 2 for 20 against him. And he was happy to see Cruz on the DL because Cruz was 9 for 16 with 2 home runs off Price. Now he walks Andrus after the home run. Right now, let's check in with Todd Cowles.
Dwayne, the next question in our website Wednesday Ask the Announcers. You can log on to foxsportsflorida.com and click on Game Connect to ask your question. It's about the evolution of David Price and the challenge of always having James Shields to go back and forth with. They said, we've noticed Price has developed the cutter. Shields kind of helped him with that. The changeup, same thing. They said, what about the importance of a pickoff move? Is that the last step in the evolution for David Price, guys?
Big cut, a foul ball on a fastball by Hamilton. Well, it seems as if that would be the next thing for him to conquer.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing him become a pitcher, moving the ball around. We've talked about that, but the pickoff move that David Price had.
Yep.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And then when he does it again and again and again, you say,
you can't do it again and again.
Well,
just very, very sparingly.
But there's scouts.
He try to shut down the running game by just making it suspicious that really he's trying to set me up.
In A ball,
this
that
can't
would
be
work.
right.
Not in A ball, that would work. With scouts and video, that doesn't work now. I like where you're thinking, but that's just not the case. No, a good pickoff move, or even getting it better, getting it serviceable.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Is a huge advantage for a starting pitcher. Where, you see James Shields about shutting down the running game. Nobody runs off him, very rarely. He's given up 1 stolen base this year, only 6-7 attempts on the season as a right-hander.
Yeah.
A left-hander with a good move. You think about Andy Pettit, who's running on him? Kenny Rogers, who's running on him? I mean, you shut down running games before the game even starts.
There goes the runner. The pitch is a ball. The throw is in time, and Andrus is cut down trying to steal. Rodriguez stuck his head right into that play to come up with that throw and put the tag on Andrus. He's caught stealing.
And Joe West making sure that Sean Rodriguez still had the ball. There you go. Even with the high leg kick, Andrus is going to be right there. The throw by Shopping. Shopping gets rid of the ball so quickly, and the throw is right on line where Rodriguez just catches it, gets hit, and gets out of there. Just hold on to the ball, and he's out.
Boy, that's a great job by Rodriguez.
Phenomenal. In the face of a guy diving into you. But we've talked about him. At second base, he's not afraid to turn that double play and stand right in there and take a hit. So he's going to be tough around the bag.
And you talk to him about it. There's a broken bat and a little soft liner into right for a base hit. Hamilton's bat winds up between first and second. Hamilton's aboard with a single. Another look at Sean Rodriguez. You talk to him, and he'll admit he kind of likes this contact.
He does. He said, I like standing in there, and if a guy's not going to be dirty and just flip me, hey, man, that gets the blood flowing. He loves it. He got clipped there pretty good, but he was not going to back down. He kept his focus on the baseball. There you go. But, going back to that pickoff move with David Price, my first pitching coach was Chuck Hernandez, who I know people in this area are familiar with. And he was the pitching coach with the Angels when I broke in, and we had a guy, Mark Langston, on that staff who had one of the better moves I've ever seen. Pick guys off that they didn't even know the ball was coming over to first base. And Chuck Hernandez pulled me out in the outfield one day and said, we're going to work on your pickoff move, and we're going to make it as good as Langston's. He said, and if you're a left-handed starting pitcher, it's going to pitch 200 innings a year in this league, and you don't have a good pickoff move, it's just because you're flat-out lazy, because it is such a weapon if you can get it to be a serviceable move.
Yeah, and you did that and more.
Well,
nice move.
Hey, listen. Well, I had a lot of base runners, baby. I needed a weapon to try to help out a little bit. But you take a guy like Price, he works on that move, and the thing about it is he's got such athletic aptitude. I mean, he can pick things up quickly. He's a good athlete. He's driven. He works hard. No reason this guy, with an off-season of work, couldn't come in with a really good pickoff move.
Ground ball. Second base. Nice pickup there by Zobrist. Out at second and safe at first. The ball hit the mound. Took a big bound after that. There was a nice play by Zobrist to get the lead runner.
Too many wind-up throws here for this play to work. Nobody's fault. That's just the way the ball was hit. You see Ben, he's got a backhanded up the middle. Now he's got to make an overhand throw. Then an awkward turn there. It's just the way it goes. Good attempt.
2 outs. Young aboard on the fielder's choice. Here's Beltre. Pitch in to him. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Kinsler hit the home run to open the inning. 13 of his 27 home runs have led off an inning this year. 13. Foul ball back. 1-1. That leads the American League. Dan Uglow over in the National League's done that 15 times.
That's ambushing.
Yeah.
Let me come out there. Pitcher wants to settle in, throw a couple pitches out over the plate early to get ahead, and I'm going to make you pay.
A foul back. That's out of play. 1-2.
You know who used to be really good at that, especially leading off a game, was Ricky Henderson.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a guy that he had that kind of power. That if he knew that there was going to be a strike thrower, you know, he had his little scouting report. This guy throws strikes, first pitch fastball a lot. Okay, I'm going to give myself the first pitch, and if it's out over the plate, I'm coming out of my shoes.
Yeah, and you know, in that same vein, not as often as Ricky, because he did that a ton. Lou Brock, who we visited with in Seattle, Brock had some pop like that. He'd lead off and do that.
He mugged me in the hallway.
He did.
He did.
You okay?
I'm fine. Just talk baseball.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if I was going to make it back for a half inning. What a great guy.
Yeah, he was super. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count.
Well, think about this. Think about this. If you're a leadoff hitter and you got some pop, or you're just a good hitter. You just tell me the next time you watch a baseball game and a pitcher starts off the game with something other than a fastball. Yeah. How many games can you remember? First pitch curveball. First pitch changeup.
Yeah,
you don't ever see it.
Up the middle and a base hit into center field. Young's going to stop at second. Now the ball bobbled by Upton, but it's rolling in front of him. No chance to move up for the runners. So Beltre has his second hit. He's at first. Young's at second. Mike Napoli. Napoli has 2 hits. He's 2 for 2. Yeah, the reason Brock stopped you, all right, in Seattle, he thought you were an edge walker.
That's a pretty quick and accurate read.
Yes, it was. That turned out to be one of his favorite terms in that conversation, and identified a couple other people as edge walkers.
Oh, yeah.
I think he knew he was probably talking to one. 1 strike to count.
I'll tell you what, that conversation that we had with him, though, he's one of the few human beings who can come into the booth, sit down, and within 30 seconds of conversation, you feel like you've known this guy your whole life.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a classy guy and a humble guy.
And a good read on people.
Yeah, boy, is he. It didn't take him long. He can read pictures. What can I tell you?
You'd have owned me.
A ball, 2 strikes here to Mike Napoli. And there is strike 3 call. Napoli caught looking. 5th strikeout of the day, and that's number 200 of the season for David Price. So David Price hits the 200 mark in strikeouts, getting Napoli looking, and the Rays lead 3-2.
3-2, now just 3-2. Well, today's game and all season long, excuse me. Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
Rays have the top of the order leading off the bottom of the fifth, and a breaking ball is too low to Desmond Jennings, 1-0.
I'm like Ron Burgundy. If you put something in front of me, I'll read it. You got to be careful with these cards.
Hey, stay classy, BA. 1-1 the count. Up to next, and then Longoria. Two balls, one strike. Three balls. Yeah, we got to do some pre-reads. Oh, we have done pre-reads. Oh, a strike on that outside corner. He's given that corner now, as he did earlier. Wow.
Well, it's tough to tell, and that's what hitters and pitchers alike have trouble with, is the inconsistency. One time it's a strike, and then next time, oh no, that ball's off. Oh, what is it?
And now Jennings is out on strikes. It just messes you right up as a hitter.
Yeah, no, well, then you find yourself having to do that right there. Now, if you know that pitch is a strike, that's one thing, but when you're guessing, that's when you get swings like that.
4 strikeouts in a row for Holland. B.J. Upton. Rays lead stands at 1. B.J. takes the pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. Foul ball in behind the catcher. Three 2-ball game. Bottom half of the fifth. Price through 5 innings. It's up. We've got him unofficially at 98 pitches. 2-1 to count now to Upton. Cut the miss. There you go. Look at that. Holland.
Yep.
Dutch oven. Really?
It's outstanding.
That's high. 3 balls.
Not our
2
word.
strike. No. Hey, there was no pre-read. They just put it up. We read it. 3-2. Swing and a miss. You know, the only other pitcher who should have done that would have been Bert Blyleven.
Oh, well, you know
That
yeah, he's so proud of that glove.
All right, 2 gone. Base is empty. Here's Evan Longoria. One ball, no strikes. It's outside. 2-0. Holland's pitch count's pretty good to this point. After making 23 pitches in the first inning, especially.
And
2-1.
And his stuff's getting better. He's really starting to get in control of himself, trying to give his offense a chance to crawl back into the game. And so far, they've inched their way in.
3-1. It's not a blanket over this Rays offense in the last few innings.
You don't want that offense to start to stink it up.
And there's ball 4. Two-out walk to Longoria. Now Ben Zobrist. Well, Ben was part of the run production in the first. He doubled in 2 and is 1 for 2 on the day. Zobrist takes a curveball in there for first pitch, and that's a strike. One ball, one strike. Holland had retired 5 hitters in a row via the strikeout. Had set down 9 straight before walking Longoria. And is ahead of Zobrist 1 and 2.
And just continues to attack him with that slider. That's 3 in a row. Ben's a good fastball hitter. That slider, the breaking ball, that closest in speed.
Evan, the runner at first. Rays scored 2 runs in the first, got another run in the second inning. Texas with a run in the 4th and 1 in the 5th. Rays and the Rangers wrapping up this series and their season series. Texas already winning the season series, winning 5 of the first 8 games played. And Zobrist is out on strike, so the last 6 outs have been recorded via the strikeout. We're through 5, 3-2 Rays. Begin the 6th inning. We take a look at our inside look, brought to you by Toyota.
David Price early on was very good. That fastball exploded out of the hand, picking up some strikeouts. Reached the magic 200 mark. But there you go.
Well, Shields and Price joined the club. That's a rather exclusive club over the last 20 years. Teammates with at least 200 strikeouts apiece. And David with the final strikeout in the 5th inning has exactly 200. First pitch to Murphy is a strike, a breaking pitch to begin the 6th. Ground ball pulled up the right side, foul.
Well, this is an important inning here for David Price because the Rays jumped out to an early 3-0 lead. Derek Holland looked a little bit shaky. Well, he has settled down. Last 6 outs coming via the strikeout, and David's been nicked up in the last 2 innings and a run in each.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Juan Cruz up in the bullpen along the right field line. And a base hit shot into center field. So Murphy makes the turn. Leadoff man aboard. Speaking of the leadoff man, here's our leadoff man, Todd Callis.
Hey, let's check in on the Autoway text poll question of the day. It involves the Red Sox series coming up over the weekend, and the question is right there: do you think the Rays have to sweep for the Red Sox to have a chance in the postseason? TB1, yes, or TB2, no. Text your vote to 789-789, standard message and data rate supply. Guys, that leads us to our next question on website Wednesday. Fans want to know, how close do you think the Rays have to be at the end of the week to entertain thoughts of the postseason?
Well, that's a pointed question now. The Rays, after this one, have 20 games left. Over to first, and Murphy is back in. There have been some teams to do it, but only a handful. When you get down to the wire, as the Rays are here.
And you're doing that by going like 17-3. You almost have to be perfect here on out. Well, look at it this way. In August, Rays were 18-10.
Yep.
They had the best record in the American League. They gained 1 game.
Yep.
And now you're asking them to gain 7, 8, 9 games in 20 games. You're going to have to,
unlikely.
And that's why that poll question. Yes, they have to sweep. They've got to sweep all the big boys if they want a chance.
Yep. But they do have head-to-head with those guys, which if a team could do it, that's really the way you need to do it.
Not relying on anybody else.
Yep.
You're going to get your crack, but you almost have to win them all.
Well, they're going to catch the Red Sox without Beckett. 2 balls and a strike to count to Torey Alba. We referenced the 2007 Phillies and what they did, the Mariners in '95, Cardinals in '64. When the Phillies let their lead get away. Tapped down to third. Longoria had to back up. They're going to get 1 at second and nothing at first. Torey Alba reaches on the fielder's choice. 5-4 on the play. And here's the breakout for that Boston Rays series. Lackey and Davis Friday at 6:30 with our pregame. No pregame on Saturday, by the way. Weiland and Hellickson will be with you at 7 o'clock. And then Sunday, Shields and Lester, the matchup.
Oh, there'll be pregame on Saturday. It may not be televised, but there'll be pregame.
That might be the best kind that should be televised. Gentry. Gentry 0 for 2. Alba's now the runner at first with 1 out. Ground ball shortstop. Rodriguez. Zobrist 1. Kochman 2. That takes care of Texas in the 6th. Home half of the inning coming. 3-2 Rays. 2 runs for the Rays in the bottom of the first. And then B.J. Upton reached on that infield hit, and the throwing error allowed Shopik to score a run in the second. This misfire on the part of Sean Rodriguez led to the first Texas run, and Ian Kinsler belted a homer in the 5th to make it 3-2. Sean Rodriguez bats in the bottom of the 6th inning, facing Holland. 1-0 the count here to Sean Rodriguez. Sean twice has lifted fly balls into left field against the left-hander. And that pitch is a strike away from him. Sean came into the game hitting .218. See the numbers on Holland. Approaching the mid-80s in pitch count. It's 2-1 now. Rodriguez hitting .271 against lefties this year. Well outside. 3 balls and a strike. And a liner into center. The ball will hang up, and Gentry's in to make the catch.
That was a nice catch there by Gentry, but even better, that one-leg slide that he stayed on. That was pretty impressive. And he sticks the landing. That's not easy to do.
Practice that on a slip and slide.
Yeah.
Brandon Geyer. Pitch is low. Breaking ball. 1-0 the count. Down the left field line. That's got some carry. Will it stay fair? That's a fair ball and a home run off the foul pole. Brandon Geyer hits his second big league home run. And that will make it 4-2 Tampa Bay.
Well, Brandon Geyer showing some very quick hands on this pitch. He pulls those hands in so quick. This will be a good shot of it.
So Geyer right down the line with that fastball. Casey Kochman. The pitch is in there for a strike. 2. So Brandon Geyer, who homered against the Phillies back in May in his first big league at bat, gets number 2 here in the 6th inning this afternoon. The Rays have 4 runs on the board off Derek Holland. A ball, 2 strikes. Chopper right side, backhanded by the first baseman Young, and Holland covers, taking the toss. 2 gone. The amazing thing about Holland, he's from Ohio, which is not necessarily amazing, but what is amazing is that he really wasn't even a prospect. I mean, this guy, he throws 95 miles per hour
from the left side.
He couldn't get a university to look at him at all. I mean, he didn't start his Babe Ruth League games. His team, he couldn't get a start.
Late bloomer, I guess.
That?
Late bloomer.
I mean, it's a pretty good arm here. It's Kelly Shopik.
Well, let's look at it this way. The arm came around late. The ability to and the mustache is coming around a little bit late too.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Give it time.
That's right. Loaded up on the count to Shopik. Skies this one. Short left center. And Hamilton is there. That takes care of Shopik and the Rays. Brandon Guyer hits a home run in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Rays lead 4-2. On to the 7th we go.
Going to the 7th, they lead by 2. The Rays Wives, along with All Children's Hospital, will host the first annual Mystery Ball on Saturday, September the 10th. Be sure to stop by gates 1 and 5 to purchase your Mystery Ball signed by players throughout Major League Baseball, along with the silent auction outside the Whitney Bank Club. Each ball is $30 and quantities are limited. That's what I'm interested in finding out. The mystery wife. Throwing a little wrinkle into the whole thing.
What I was interested in finding out during that interview is that attire is also suitable for weddings, apparently. That was brought up in the exchange in that interview. Juan Cruz, the new pitcher for the Rays, and he throws a slider to Kinsler. Not going to give this guy a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Cruz making his 50th appearance. There's a strike. 1-1. Kinsler, Andrus, and then Hamilton. Foul ball straight back this way. Right off the facing.
If you reach for that, you lose a finger.
Yeah.
Period. Right in front of you. That's going to bang right off the top here.
I'm not reaching. I'm bailing.
Yeah. Well, no. You would have. It was just in a bad spot. Plus the light's in the way.
1-2 the count.
That's the closest we've had all year.
Yep. But is high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, now Kinsler's trying to ambush us.
Keep your eye on that kid.
And all those leadoff home runs, 13 of his 27 home runs have led off innings. He lifts a high fly ball, not overly deep to center. And Upton is there. 1 out here at the 7th. J.P. Howell, the lefty, and Joel Peralta is the right-hander. We had Price at 107 pitches, 6 innings, 2 runs, 8 hits, 5 strikeouts, and a couple walks. Elvis Andrus. He's been on twice with a base hit and a walk. Pitch is a strike. Andrus still only 23 years old. He's in his 3rd year in the major leagues. 1-1 to count. .267 his rookie year and .265 last year. Upstairs. 2-1. He was part of the deal with Atlanta when Teixeira went to the Braves, and the Texas Rangers got Andrus to play a shortstop, as he's done here in his 3rd season. This one is down, and it's 3-1. They also got Neftali Felice in that deal, and Matt Harrison, and Saltalamacchia was part of that trade. 3 balls, 1 strike to count, and ball 4 is inside. 3rd walk given up by Rays pitching. A 1-out pass issued by Cruz. Josh Hamilton's going to be the hitter, and Joe Madden comes out of the dugout. He's got the lefty Howell in the bullpen. There will be a call to the bullpen. Brought to you by Metro PCS. By Tires Plus. The Plus is in everything we do. And by Subway. Eat fresh. Josh Hamilton, the hitter. J.P. Howell, the new pitcher. 1 out with a runner at first. And the initial pitch is in there. A strike call on a fastball.
J.P. on for the 39th time. 2-2 on the record. 27 innings of work. Opponent's average of .232. Facing a tough one here.
One ball, 1 strike. It's the breakout for Hamilton and Howell, the matchup. Runners back in. Hamilton had a base hit in the 5th. Pitch is low. 2-1. Throws him a strike there. The count goes to 2-2. The 2-2, and he just missed a little wide. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He's out on strikes. Big strikeout for JP to get Josh Hamilton.
Now hitters go up there. They know about JP's curveball. Got to protect with 2 though, and this pitch is right over the plate. So you see Hamilton trying to protect himself. Just commits on a pitch that he can't hit.
2 gone. Now Michael Young. Tap down to third. Longoria makes the play, and that will retire the side. No runs, a walk, and a man left. 7th inning stretch time. Rays lead 4-2. Justin Ruggiano tries to put down a bunt. Was he in or was he out of the batter's box when he made contact? That's a foul ball. Immediately, Mike Napoli pointing trying to convince Angel Campos that he was out of the batter's box as he puts down this bunt, and the ball comes back and makes contact with him, but it's the right call by Angel Campos. Foul ball. Strike 2 now. The 0-2 fouled out of play. Holland in the mid-90s in pitch count, starting the 7th inning here. 1-2. Into the dirt. Price worked 6 for the Rays, gave up 2 earned runs on 8 hits. See Holland at 100 pitches. Cruz worked the 3rd, and J.P. Howell got the last 2 outs in the 7th. Swing and a miss. Rugiano out on strikes. 1 away here in the home half of the 7th. Let's check in again with Todd.
All right, the next question comes from Largo. Carlos wants to know about the rotation next year, guys. He says, I know there's 5 solid pitchers right now, but he also wonders what's going to happen with Alex Cobb and with Matt Moore, you know, knocking on the door as well. He's wondering, is it possible that Joe would have a 6-man rotation next year, or do you think there might be a move with one of the starters? Guys, back to you.
Desmond Jennings takes a strike. Well, they say you can never have enough good pitching, and that's true. And if you have a lot of it, it puts you in a position to either have great depth or make a deal.
And I think that, you know, there you go, Alex Cobb. He's the what gave Joe Madden and the staff the opportunity this year to go to a 6-man rotation. Cobb showing an ability to come to the big leagues, and every time he came back up, I think it was 3 different visits, he just kept getting better and better to where he was a guy that you knew when he went out there, you had a good chance to win, you know, in just a short amount of time. So I think that I don't think that they would start a season off with a 6-man rotation, but much like this year, in the middle, if they've got the opportunity and the depth.
Here's Jennings getting hold of one, driving it back into center, and just short of the track. Gentry back to make the catch for the out. Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, maybe you would use it to limit some guys' innings, but you know what happens is you know, you've got a lot of start. Yeah, and then you've got Matt Moore knocking on the door. So right now you've got 6. Matt Moore makes 7. You know, you've got some options to do some things in the winter if you want.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes you run out 5 tremendous starters, and you're the 6th or 7th guy, and you have options. Well, that, you know, sometimes you wear it. Sometimes you have to bide your time and play backup for a year or 2. But the bottom line is these guys are major league pitchers, and Matt Moore's going to get his shot pretty soon. We'll see.
Upton with a little tap, and that's going to stay fair, and he has an infield hit. So Upton is aboard here with 2 outs in the 7th inning on that infield hit down the 3rd baseline.
And BJ with a couple of those hits that have gone a combined about 90 feet.
They all count. He'll take them.
You better believe it.
Well, it certainly puts the Rays. I think they feel Archer's made some strides this year too. The right-hander they got in the deal with the Cubs. And Moore has really stepped forward again. So there's some depth there to deal with, and that's always a good thing because clubs are always looking for pitching. Speaking of looking for pitching, the Rangers want a new one. Holland departs, and we'll be back in a moment.
Now take the Rays with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Rays game live or on demand. You can see these games on your computer and your other favorite devices. Visit RaysBaseball.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. It's baseball everywhere.
Koji Uehara is the new pitcher. Holland worked 6 2/3. He made 107 pitches. Uehara in here to face Evan Longoria with Upton at first. Over to first, and BJ is back in. Again, a move to first, Upton back.
A little bit of a lean there by BJ.
Evan pops it up. Right side, Young near the stands, and he loses his footing as he approached the Rays dugout. So that's a foul ball and strike one.
Let's see what can't see what his feet get crossed up into. Looks like he's got a good beat on it, and then down he goes.
Down toward the camera well.
Yeah, there's one step too many. You get so focused on the baseball, especially pop-ups in this dome, you can easily lose them. And so you get your eyes caught on that thing, and you know that you're close, but the eyes don't leave the baseball, and all it takes is a couple inches.
Yeah, the worst thing you can do is lose your focus in the camera well. Picture doesn't turn out at all.
That's not going to win any awards.
Swing and a miss, big cut by Evan, 0-2.
We've seen that a lot from Uehara. He will come with 88 miles an hour up in the zone and power it right by guys. He's not a...
He did that a lot when he was closing over in Baltimore.
And he's not a power pitcher, but look at that. 76 strikeouts and 59 1/3 innings of work.
There goes Upton. The pitch hit on the ground is short. Andrus up with it, and the throw to first in time to retire the side. No runs a hit. The man left, and we head into the 8th. It's 4-2 Rays.
A 2-run lead over the Texas Rangers will join the Rays in honoring our community's first responders on Sunday, September the 11th, when the Rays host the Boston Red Sox. The first 10,000 kids 14 and under will get a Rays Fire helmet presented by Chili's. Visit RaysBaseball.com for more information.
Joel Peralta becomes the new Rays pitcher, their fourth of the day. Adrian Beltre is the hitter. First pitch is fouled away. So J.P. Howell faced two men. He struck out Hamilton, got Young on a ground ball. And now it's Peralta.
Peralta putting up another good season, the 64th appearance. 59 and 2/3 innings, 51 strikeouts. See that opponent's average under 200.
He pitched in the game Saturday in the Baltimore series, which is one inning. 23 pitches in that inning. It's 1-1 to count. Rays with a 2-run lead. Pitch stays high. Trying a curveball there. And it's 2-1. The Rays have won 5 of their last 7 series here at Tropicana Field. And a win today would make that 6 out of 8. Swing and a miss. 2-2. You know, for most of the year, the idea is to just go win a series. But the Rays are going to have to get into a sweep a series mode.
Yes, if they hold any aspirations of postseason play, my mindset's got to be win out. That's tough to think about long term, but it's got to be each and every night, each and every pitch, each and every inning.
And it's popped up. Right side, Zobrist backing out. That is out number 1 here in the 8th.
Well, let's take one last look at our AutoWay text poll question. Do the Rays have to sweep the Red Sox this weekend for a chance at the postseason? TB1 is yes, TB2 is no. You can text your vote to 789-789. Standard message and data rates, again, always apply. I go TB1.
Yep. Just about that time. Mike Napoli. He looks at a strike. Well, Peralta was getting a lot of his pitches up to Beltre. And he finally got him on that high popper. Napoli's 2 out of 3. And there's a strike. The 0-2 upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And it's high. 2-2. David Murphy is on deck. That one is out of here, and then some. Napoli muscling up on that pitch, hits it out. That ball hovering up in the zone, and now it's a 4-3 game.
Well, that's exactly right, Dwayne. Hovering up in the zone, and Napoli jumped all over it. No need to even look if you're Joel Peralta, you know it.
The Rangers hitting their second home run of the day. And here's David Murphy. Murphy fouls it back. Murphy had a base hit in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. The home run for Napoli, number 24. And now the difference in this game is the home run that Geyer hit off the foul pole in the 6th inning. The Rays lead again down to 1. Murphy fouls it into the screen. 0-2. Murphy with a couple lifetime at bats against Peralta. 1 out of 2, and that hits a home run. Now Napoli has a home run off him. And that is strike 3 call. You know, Murphy a little bit surprised right there. Peralta hurried up on him.
Yeah, well, we've seen Joel Peralta do it all year. That should be something that should have been scouted out, let these guys know, but Joel Peralta will speed it up on you. And here we go. He wasn't even ready.
So Murphy out on strikes. Now Mitch Moreland will hit for Torrey Alba. Ron Washington gets another left-handed bat up there against Peralta. The pitch is in there, a strike. Rays have the shift on with Moreland in the batter's box. And he pops it to the left side. That's Longoria taking care of it to retire the side. 1 run on the home run. It's 4-3 Tampa Bay.
Angela Jacobs reminding you that you can always follow the action on Fox Sports Game Connect, your interactive way to get involved with the game. You can sign on to your own Twitter account right through Game Connect, talk with other Rays and Rangers fans, see what they're saying, tweet along with me. I'm AJ. And as you've been hearing all game, you can also submit your questions to the announcer's booth. Just click on Ask the Broadcast through Fox Sports Game Connect, and you can find it all on foxsportsflorida.com. Dwayne, BA.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
She's AJ, right?
Yes.
That's a great connection right there.
AJ, and I'm BJA.
Are you?
I am.
Ben Zobrist facing Mike Adams. A pitch down and in. Well, it's a communication age.
It is.
Yep.
And the town that I grew up in had another guy by the name of B.J. Moline. He was a year older than me, and at the time we were growing up together, was a very good athlete and a year older. So he got the claim
I got you. Yeah.
B.J. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you can't have two B.J.s in a small little town.
No. Doesn't work. Mm-mm. BA's better anyway.
Sort of.
2-0. There's a high fly ball hit into right field. Murphy is there and makes the catch. One away. Sean Rodriguez now. Rodriguez looking for his first hit. And the pitch is a strike to Sean. Foul ball. 2 strikes. Anyway, the whole point of that was that Game Connect's a good thing. I mean,
Hey, that's how
yeah.
It's a portal into our little world.
Yeah. That's right. In case we ever get lost or misplaced in that little world, somebody might be able to find us. 2 strikes the count now to Rodriguez. It's 1-2. Rays lead 4-3. They've been out hit 9-6. We're playing in the bottom of the 8th. Adams coming over from the National League and the San Diego Padres, where he was very effective. And he hits Sean Rodriguez.
A nice pitch there by Adams. Good slider, late break on it. The pitch starts right on the outer third. Watch this. And Sean Rodriguez just runs out of bat.
Well, now Johnny Damon, who was hit on the knee the other night and has been out of the lineup, particularly with a couple of left-handers starting, but he's in here to pinch hit against Adams. Pitch is a strike. And the pitch is away. 1-1. Kyle Farnsworth up in the Rays bullpen. Rays led 2-0, then 3-0, then 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, and now it's 4-3. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Damon lifts a fly ball down the left field line. Hamilton on the move is there, and just inside the line made the catch to retire the Rays. We go to the 9th, 4-3 Tampa Bay.
Log on to foxsportsflorida.com to get the latest news and information surrounding your favorite Florida sports teams, including videos, exclusive analysis from the experts, and much, much more. It's coverage you won't get anywhere else. foxsportsflorida.com. Log on right now.
Kyle Farnsworth, the new pitcher for the Rays, on trying to close it out against the Texas Rangers. And a very good year for Kyle Farnsworth out of the Rays bullpen. He'll face the number 9 spot in the order. Indy Chavez will pinch hit for Craig Gentry. Chavez to lead it off. Kinsler and then Andrews do. And the pitch is away, a ball and no strikes. You can see Chavez shortening on the bat as if to bunt. Farnsworth got his 23rd save of the year against Baltimore on Saturday. Count is 1-1. Down and in. 2-1.
Almost got a swing here from Chavez.
2-2. Still 2-2. Baltimore, New York, top of the 7th, tied 4-4. And Justin Verlander got his 22nd win of the year. Gave of 4 and 6 innings, but the Tigers have beaten the Indians 8-6. Verlander's 22 and 5. Down the right side, back toward the corner. Ruggiano is in foul territory, and he makes the catch. Chavez out number 1 here in the ninth.
And a nice job by Ruggiano with the short wall out there and not a lot of fair territory or foul territory, excuse me. Keeps his eyes on that baseball, knows where he's at. Makes the catch right before tapping that wall.
Now it's Ian Kinsler. Kinsler lifetime 0 for 2 against Farnsworth. And he's 1 for 4 in this game. And a high shot deep to left. Jennings goes to the wall, and it's gone. Kinsler hits one out, and this game is tied. Kinsler hits his second home run of the day, his 28th home run of the year, and it ties the game.
Now, we talked about Ian Kinsler and ambushing. That's what he does right here. He gets a cement mixer. That slider or cutter, very little movement on it, stays up out over the plate. Kinsler just crushed it.
A swing and a miss by Andrews, strike 1. So Kinsler's in a tie with Nelson Cruz for their home run lead on the Texas Ball Club. Fastball misses. It's 1-1. Kinsler had a home run last night and 2 today. A ball, 2 strikes. Low. 2-2. Now the Rangers have hit 3 home runs. Kinsler has 2, and Napoli hit 1 in the 8th. Kinsler's home run in the 9th has tied it. And a liner caught by Zobrist at second. 2 gone. Josh Hamilton will be the hitter. Texas with Darren Oliver, the veteran left-hander, and Neftali Felice, the right-hander, busy in their bullpen. There's a strike. Hamilton 1 for 4. Got a broken bat base hit into right field in the 5th inning. One and one. Big cut and a foul ball. Takes the count to 1-2. So the starting pitchers now out of this game, not only literally, but in regard to any potential decisions. Big swing and a miss. The ball away and rolls down in front of the dugout, and Hamilton's going to reach. Boy, that ball a strikeout, but it skipped away and rolled all the way over to the dugout.
Yeah, watch this thing shoot right here off the heel of the glove and then off the chest protector. That ball just shot over towards the Rangers dugout. And here with 2 outs, Hamilton able to reach base and extend this inning.
Strikeout on a wild pitch, and against Michael Young up there. Here's what that does for the Texas Rangers. Hamilton would have been the 3rd out. Now Michael Young, who is 4 of 8 with a home run lifetime against Farnsworth, gets a chance to bat in the inning. And the pitch is a strike.
That's the pitch right there that Michael Young just disregards. Pitch down and away early. He's looking for something out over the plate or close to him. He'll let you have that pitch till 2 strikes.
Texas in double figures with 10 hits. Power-laden team, as we've seen today. 0-2. Hamilton is the base runner. Price works 6, Cruz a 3rd, Howell 2/3, Peralta 1 inning, and Farnsworth trying to finish off the 9th and keep the game tied. Chopwick and Farnsworth ahead in the count against Young. 2 strikes. Off day tomorrow, and then Friday night Boston is in town. To the count. It's down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. David Price had been in line for his 13th win. That will not happen today. And the 1-2 pitch. Inside a bit. 2-2.
Now that pitch right there, the one thing that it does do is set up Farnsworth now to go back out down and away. So that pitch crowded Michael Young. For him to shoot something down and away now.
And Young goes that way and fouls it out of play up the right side. He's making contact and extending the at bat. Started. That ball cut away from him and he held up.
Well, this ball was off the plate and he did hold up. A good call by Fairchild down at first. Actually not even close on this one.
So it's 3-2 with 2 outs. So Hamilton will get a running start off first base. There he goes. 3-2 and a ground ball back toward the middle. Rodriguez up with a throw to first. That's not going to be in time. And Young beats it out. Hamilton moves into second. So an infield hit. See, Farnsworth stuck out his pitching hand, tried to barehand it. His follow through carried him away from it.
That extra little crow hop there by Sean Rodriguez as he was trying to gather that ball out of the glove. That's what cost him.
It's Adrian Beltre. And the pitch is a strike. Beltre 2 for 4. How about that? 0 for 19 against Farnsworth. And a pop up right side, foul ball. Kochman's after it, and he's got it to retire the side. Texas strands 2, but they come up with a run on a home run by Ian Kinsler. This game is tied 4-4. Area Buick GMC dealers. By Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. When cancer strikes, strike back with CyberKnife and Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. By Checkers, Feast On. And by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com. Game moving into the bottom half of the ninth. Casey Kochman's going to lead off with the Rays tied. It's a 4-4 ball game, and he'll face Darren Oliver, the veteran left-hander. And Casey Kochman takes the pitch down and in. Casey did have a walk-off ninth-inning home run back on the 8th of August when he connected off Blake Wood of the Kansas City Royals, giving the Rays a 2-1 victory. Counts a ball and a strike right here against Darren Oliver. Two and one. Casey has one home run since that walk-off, and that was against a left-hander and a pretty good one, C.C. Sabathia. Now it's 3-1 against Oliver. Pitch is popped into short center. Chavez, who's now out there, makes the catch, and that's the first out. One away, and Kelly Shopik is on his way to the plate. Shopik 1 for 4 lifetime against Oliver. He walked and scored a run back in the second inning.
Yeah, he went to the plate with a little bounce in his step, so see if that bodes well.
And he takes a strike.
Come on, Kelly, base hit.
And a shot foul takes the count to 0-2. Oliver's 55th appearance. Of 3 home runs and 46 innings of work now. And there is strike 3 called to Shopping. So 2 up and 2 down.
This little cut fastball.
Brugiano just in 1 out of 3. He takes a strike. The cutter. Brugiano sends it into center. Charged by Chavez. He's there to make the catch. It's a quick 1-2-3, bottom of the 9th, and we go to the 10th, tied 4-4. Game summary. Vin Zobrist's double made it 2-0. Kelly Shopping scored. Went up and hit that little dribbler, and then the bad throw. Texas got on the board in the 4th inning with Beltre crossing the plate. Ian Kinsler homered in the 5th inning to make it 3-2. Rays got another run on a long one. This one off the bat of Brandon Geyer, his 2nd big league home run. But Mike Napoli hit a home run in the 8th inning, connecting off Joel Peralta. And with 1 out in the 9th, with Kyle Farnsworth on, Ian Kinsler belted a home run. That tied the game, and so we're 4-4 as we go to the 10th. Mike Napoli due to lead it off here against Jake McGee.
Jake McGee on for the 30th time. 20 2/3 innings of work, more than a strikeout an inning with 22 of those. He has given up the 5 home runs, and he will have to be good here with this command, because you know that this lineup is going to be looking to leave. Especially Napoli, who hit that home run in his last at bat. He's always looking to leave.
Yeah, that's right. He's 3 for 4 today with that home run in the 8th. The pitch is a fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. McGee pitched the 8th in the game last night, gave up a run. Big cut by Napoli. It's 1-1. Napoli Napoli doubled to center in the 8th inning last night and scored David Murphy, who had opened with a base hit. That against the Rays lefty McGee. 2 balls and a strike. The Rays out hit 11-6 today in a 4-4 ball game. Napoli looks at strike 2, 2-2. Fouls it. Napoli reaching out there to stay alive. We've seen him do that before. And a foul ball back. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Rays have the off day tomorrow and then play Boston here on Friday night. Boston playing tonight in Toronto, and then they'll play tomorrow night in Toronto as well before coming in here. 2-2 and a little looper into short right. That's going to fall. A base hit. Napoli's on base for the 4th time with his 4th hit of the game.
How about
it
that?
In shallow right.
Yeah, just getting the bat out there. You know, we talk about it a bunch. This ball, look at off the plate away. Saw him spoil a couple of those pitches that you referenced, Dwayne, off David Price before getting a hit to right field, and there he just sticks the bat out and flips it into no man's land. Leadoff runner aboard for the Rangers here in the 10th.
Now David Murphy in the batter's box with Napoli the runner. Murphy shoots it into left field. Jennings over there toward the line to make the catch. And that's the first out with Napoli headed back to first. Nice break by Jennings toward the line on the ball hit by the left-handed batter Murphy. Now the designated hitter is Mitch Moreland, who pinch hit for Torrey Alba and popped out back in the 8th inning. And a line drive back into center field. Upton is there to make the catch. So Moreland is out number 2.
2 lefties not wasted any time going after that first pitch, and Jake McGee able to get 2 quick outs.
Andy Chavez coming on. He pinch hit in the 9th inning and stayed on to play center. He hit for Gentry, who had gone 0 for 3. And a first pitch swing and a 2-hopper to Rodriguez. Toss to Zobrist, and that retires the side. So we'll go to the bottom of the 10th, and the Rays will have the top of the order coming up. Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side. New pitcher for the Texas Rangers, their 5th of the day. And he's tall right-hander Mark Lowe. Oliver worked a perfect 9th inning, picked up a strikeout. Now Mark Lowe enters the game, making his 49th appearance.
Got 2-2 record, 11 holds, almost a strikeout an inning. I saw him a couple times in Arlington. Another good arm out of this Texas bullpen.
Top of the order for the Rays, Desmond Jennings 0 for 3, but he did walk and scored a run back in the first inning of this game. Jennings sends one deep to left. That baby's gonna go. Home run for Desmond Jennings on the first pitch here in the bottom of the 10th. And the Rays in a walk-off win it 5-4. A 10-inning victory for the Rays. They reached the millennium mark. That's 1,000 victories for the Rays in franchise history. And Desmond Jennings unloads on the first pitch. The Rays win it 5-4 and win the series from the Texas Rangers. Ninth home run for Desmond Jennings. Well, Texas tied it with a home run from Kinsler in the 9th. And the Rays win it on a home run from Jennings in the 10th.
We saw Ian Kinsler doing some ambushing. How about this? First pitch fastball, wasted no time. We've seen the power of Desmond Jennings in the 40-50 games since he's been recalled. He just continues to flash it, gets the ball out over the plate, hammers it. Let's go home.
Well, that's exactly what the Rays do on the home run by Jennings. They win their 78th game of the year. Desmond Jennings with Todd Callis on the field right now.
Thanks, Dwayne. Desmond, it's a pitcher you'd never seen before. How do you get a scouting report that quickly on him?
I knew he had a good fastball. Shell got me ready for it, told me it's hard, it's go straight. Just looking for something to hit early, don't want to get behind.
The home runs, we've talked about it before. I think you're now up to 21 combined between the minors and the big leagues. That's quite an impressive number for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 10 more than I had, in the previous time. I don't know, man. Just put some good swings on some balls. It's pretty good.
You've been hitting that ball a long way. You're not getting any wall scrapers. You know off the bat that you had just won the game?
I had a feeling. I saw Josh going back. I saw Hamilton going back, and I didn't know. But right when I hit it, I had a feeling I did.
When you come around home plate, there's always big celebrations. You get beat up at all. Sometimes they get the rookie a little more than the other guys.
Yeah, I was almost naked coming out of the pile.
Speaking of getting rookies, I guess that'll do it for the Desmond Jennings interview, guys. He's heading back to the clubhouse. Back to you.
Well, Desmond Jennings ends it for the Rays. A 10-inning victory for the Rays on a walk-off by Desmond Jennings. Jake McGee's going to get the win. Blow the loss. And the Rays win this series from the Texas Rangers. We'll be with you Friday night to open the Boston series. Our coverage begins at 6:30. Now for Brian Anderson and Todd Callis and the rest of our award-winning crew, this is Dwayne Stats. Great to have you with us. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast. Rays live the postgame next. We'll see you there.